So as we always start off in our tuning, and so we're kind of in standard, powerful, and all we got to do is put it into that nice little drop D. I've currently got mine all dropped down to semitone, so I'm actually in drop C. I'm gonna let you guys figure it out, like what I'm actually doing. We've been through this tuning, and you should be getting to grasp with what they should be doing now. So again, we've used this tuning for ever long. So we've been through this before, so we're going to kind of skip this a little bit and kick straight into the tab. So when you go and watch the Jungle Sung version, he kind of does this. So he's got little taps going on. And for me, I'm going to teach it my way because I think my way is a little bit better. I think it's a bit disjointed. It's personal preference. He's a better guitarist than I am, so you probably listen to him. But I like to just have it's more strummy, and he feels more fluid moving into the. So let's kick into it. So first we start with the kind of rhythmic strum. Instead, he plays it with a thumb. But I like to make it a bit more punk. So the mistake I see people do, I still do it. I made this mistake, and it's a common flaw people do, so try and knock it out straight away. Is playing the bass line like this and replacing that third A note, or the third note in the kind of series, which is an open A, and putting that with an open D. And it still works, it still kind of sounds like it, but it's not right. So actually what we should be doing and that's kind of it really. So that's just a little mistake I see people make, and I make it, yes, because it is a lot easier to play just. But when we start coming into the kind of, you'll kind of start seeing the kind of why it's there, and two, it's the bass line. You don't want to fuck up the actual bass line of the song. So let's try and see how we kind of transition to this. It's like. So for this little bit, jazz it up. We're going to kind of go through this lesson quite fast because it's just a simple bass line. But start jazzing it up, put your own percussion in. I kind of don't put percussion in. I like it quite simple because I feel when there's too much percussion and then you're going into the... It's like it's a bit of an anti-drop. But jazz it up, make it your own, make it work. So yeah, like start adding in like little funky snares and slaps and yeah, this is your piece. So and yeah, just fucking do whatever. And you can kind of. Yeah, so just start having to play around. Just trying to fucking put your style in it. So as we kind of scroll down the tab, it kind of repeats this a few times, and then we get to the difficult bit. This is a mofo. So first bit, we kind of got this nice, easy kind of minory shape. we're doing is this little kind of cheeky slide. And actually not that hard, but just try and get that. Because that's the hard bit. So if we're going to break this down, I just learned the top 3 strings. So there's first. So just learn the top three strings, then introduce the bass notes to break it down for you. So. And I add in extra chords when doing this as well, but you don't have to if you don't want. I think it makes it more full. But after you've kind of got your head around the kind of first bit, or the top 3 strings, then start adding the bass notes. And the reason why it's easier to do it this way is because there's a lot of open strings. Because it's just a kind of a melodic chord line with just simple bass notes. So then start adding. And it really fills it out, the bass notes. So accentuate them, baby. And after you get that bit down, it's to the kind of second time round. When you're doing this, it doesn't say slide, but I would slide for the 8 to the 6 note. Because it's a bit of an arsey move going. So what I'd be doing would be with that little finger. And so you're already in that position, because when you read the tab, it's kind of like, oh, he's going. And you're on a back foot. And you go for that quick change, and you don't want that quick change, you want it nice and easy. So slide down with your 4th little finger from the 8th fret down to the 6th. So it should sound like. So it's a lot easier and a fluid kind of shape. So that's another thing I see people do is kind of, and it's really hard to get. So that's another little sneaky tip. Told you there's loads of little sneaky little things that it's like, oh fuck, this is what will make it a lot easier to tackle the tab. So let's hear that kind of round once or twice. So. That's it. We're there, we're nearly there. So now we're down to this kind of. And what we're just doing here, right, is the. Really easy. I would ignore the slaps for now, for all this bit. Just kind of get used to the. And you're doing little kind of pull-offs, so just make that bar nice and tight. And now I would start introducing the kind of snare slaps. And to get the snare slaps, it's like just a little string hit with your right thumb. And it's just ever so slight. And then, after you've done this, you've got to just notice there's a tiny little, sneaky little hammer on, which is this kind of. when you come around from this. That is the little open A string. So. So I like to do that to kind of get the hit. So just kind of a little cheeky. And then. And that's it. So when you get down to the tab, we've got these little numbers that say 1 and 2. And this means the kind of end bar, so we're not repeating the whole tab again. So we've got this. And this kind of nice little. Then repeat. And then the second time round, we've got the. This kind of. And then, yeah, just a nice little fill, and then it's kind of back round. And then we kind of hit round to the third time after we played round, and we kind of got this cool, I love this bit. This kind of. Then a little flat chord, round, around, round, round. So it gets real fucking funky now, and I fucking love this bit. Sexy slide. And so. And you've kind of got this like sneaky little seventh. And it's so discreet, this sneaky seventh. So the kind of best way to get it is keep that kind of minor shape. And now we get the cool bit, and for this I'd use your first two fingers. So we've got that a little bit down, because it's quite an easy bit. And now it's for the hard bit. But this last bit's difficult, and it's always the hardest bit, because it goes quite classical, and it's. You got that bass line, and then you're trying to throw this. And it's hard because you're trying to separate your head into two. And it's like, you go, la la, la la, bum dum 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 na 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 dum dum dum. And it's difficult. It's hard. So the best way to tackle this is to hold the shape. So that. And hold that shape with your first and your fourth finger. And so. And practice that bass line. So hold the shape and don't even bother with the last two fingers. Just hold that shape. So. And just practice that. So it's just using your third finger all the way through. Then start introducing the. And you just got to think it's. So. Just practice that bit. Again. After you've got the dab it down. And that's the hardest bit done with. If you can get that, it's easy. So it's quite a quick lesson. Again, this is a fingerstyle piece, so a lot of it is just memorizing and just diving the fuck into it, working on it, practicing it, and just this is a step up. So you should be out of your comfort zone. pieces like this still put me out of my comfort zone because it's fucking fingerstyle. Any new fingerstyle piece, I'm like, That's why I play sideways, because it's fucking 10 times easier. But the idea is to, you know, it's meant to be hard. It took me a while to get down. And I'm still not perfect at this. This isn't my style. But it's fingerstyle pieces that they're assholes. That's why it's in here. So the extension for this, I would be going ahead and jazzing it up as much as you can, and doing whatever you want. Like, I don't like to go the or the. I like to go. And just doing whatever I like with it, and just kind of getting free flow with it rather than playing the piece. Because again, I'm at the kind of stage, or I'm not at the stage. I'm at the kind of viewpoint of it's not about playing the song right. It's just about developing your skills and just trying to learn new things. Because this is trying to get you good at playing sideways, and what this does is kind of helping you kind of separate your brain into two, where you're playing a melody and a bass line at the same time. So, yeah, that's why it's here. So, in an extension for this, I would go away and learn Classico by Tenacious D. It's not originally written by Tenacious D. It's probably by Mozart or something. Someone can correct me. But it sounds classical as fuck. It's in standard tuning. And again, this is like a piece that it's got lots of complicated shapes. It's quite fast. There's like a melody going la la la, and a bass line's going dum 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 dum, but the melody's going la la la. So everything's kind of going in the opposite way. So it's quite a cool piece to learn. And two, you look cool as fuck when it's like, oh yeah, you play guitar, oh yeah, I do. That's cool as fuck. Then you just play chords and you play Wonderwall at the house party you're at. So that's kind of one little extension, a kind of last extension since we're in drop D. So this is probably one of the hardest pieces in here, especially for myself, because it's fingerstyle, and it's really fingerstyle. I'm much more lap tapping, harmonic, kind of doing other shit. But this is very classical minded, so it might be difficult, so it's okay to kind of come back to this, skip it. It's not going to hinder you that much. The idea is just to put you out your comfort zone and separate your mind with the bass line and the kind of da-na, na-na. So the next set of pieces are going to be a bit harder. It should be fun. The tunings are a lot more complex, and it's not as hard kind of coordination-wise at all. Like, the coordination's probably easier, but there's new techniques being involved that are quite abstract. So like a little wrist thumb, some kind of harmonics, and just kind of weirdness, because you're in an alternate tuning, so everything is different. So this is kind of as hard as we're going to get coordination-wise, apart from the very last one, where coordination is fucking off the shit. Which is really hard. Actually, there's two, and they're both by the same artist. It becomes difficult. But the next set, don't be intimidated. This is as hard as it gets, kind of coordination-wise. Move on to the next bit.